talking about toilets, so they know what's up.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's what our chat room is there for. Chat room, hello.
Never change.
How are you? Lagging Balls, thank you for bringing your people and your toilets to our stream. We appreciate it greatly. Hi, everybody. How's your Friday night going? John here. This is the pre-show. I don't know why I'm making it sound so formal.
I know. What's going on with that?
This
is the new thing we've started. I'm the hype man for our own show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome. It is Friday night. Just start the show. It got away from me, Ben. The show was over before I knew it.
Yeah.
It's completely out of control.
I didn't know suit and tie was required. I mean, anyways.
Well, first time, you never know. We would provide a jacket, but unfortunately, I'm not that fast at video editing.
I was told that since you're not shown below the shoulders, that no pants was okay for this show.
Oh, just the dress
Did
code.
somebody lie to me?
I
hope nobody knocks on my office door and I have to stand up, or you'll lose your entire audience.
Look, I understand that not all of you follow
Jennifer.
me on Twitter, but pants no longer a factor in my life.
There you go. There's a story behind that. I know it.
Yeah. That's me plugging my Twitter page right there.
Instead of body paint, he just has full pants tattooed on, so he never has to wear them again.
I had to get good at body painting so I could go pantsless all the time. Man, wouldn't that show the people at work?
Body painting, that's a way to get 1 million people watching your stream, huh?
No, not me. Not if I do it.
We're anything.
If I started, it would just be nobody cares.
That's actually the name of your stream too, isn't it?
Nobody cares.
It's like, oh God, he's using watercolors.
Actually, there we go.
Opaque paint.
If I ever retire my general use Twitch and game handles, I'm gonna just change it to nobody cares.
Talk to Mrs. Mac about finger painting. Anyways.
I want to say that Twitter name is available.
Nobody cares?
Nobody cares.
At Nobody Cares is available?
No, I'm looking right now.
It can't be.
Can't be. There's no way.
All I'm getting is... Oh, no, there we go. No, I'm not getting a Twitter handle.
Get it now while it's hot.
This can't be.
How many people are in the stream? It's already gone. So...
Now's your chance to get in on the hot nobody cares action.
That is...
Oh, wait, it's there. There's 2 tweets. Let's see. April of 2008. Right now, I'm on break at my Sunday job.
Nobody cares.
2009.
Book swap tomorrow in Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Nobody
that's an active Twitter
cares.
He's got 2 tweets, one from 08 and 109.
Yeah,
wow.
46 followers.
I can't compete with that.
All right. Well, that's all good. I'm glad we discovered this together today.
Yeah, that's good. Everybody, you know what? If you want, just for fun, just follow Nobody Cares, just randomly.
Everyone should do that.
Everybody should follow Nobody Cares.
And you should tweet "I care" at them.
I care. Tweet more.
I care.
Is there a GIF from Return of the Jedi where Luke does the "I care"? Or wait, was that in Empire?
No, that was in A New Hope.
Oh, that's right. It is in A New Hope. We need a GIF of Luke doing the "I care," and just tweet that GIF.
Yeah.
Because modern Twitter's all about the hot GIFs.
Yeah,
so,
that's
yes.
true. That's what all the kids are doing these days, right?
Choosy moms choose GIFs.
Yes, that's right. Because
you are totally giving away your age by that.
There's still a peanut butter out there.
Yeah, but I don't think that they've used that slogan since 1975.
Oh no, they've used it since at least 90.
Really?
I'm not that old, so they have certainly used it since then.
He's used to using those jokes on me,
Well, I was about to ask you, when did they start using it? Because I don't think I was born yet. I know you know.
Yeah, right.
You're probably in college or something like that. Anyway.
Back when they still had cigarette commercials, right?
No, I have never seen one of those.
Yeah, well,
What are you talking about? You're older than me, and I've seen a cigarette commercial.
No,
Yeah.
there's no way you've seen.
I have seen a cigarette commercial.
They were banned in like the late 70s.
Well, I hate to tell you, but I've seen it.
Hold on. When were
I might have just looked. I might have just looked it up on YouTube.
I think it was late 70s when they couldn't do that.
Late 70s, early 80s. I think it was late 70s.
January 2nd, 1971.
Wow,
71. Oh my God! I remember watching them. So
I definitely don't.
Congress took their anti-smoking initiative one step further and passed a Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act, banning the advertising of cigarettes on television and radio starting on January 2nd, 1971.
Okay, well, you know what? I was a kid in the 80s, and I had a babysitter who taped everything, so...
No, what you're really saying is that somewhere out there's some rogue public access station that was playing cigarette commercials just for you.
Yeah, in the pocket of Camel.
He was fascinated by Joe Camel.
It's true. That's the one I'm thinking of. I remember thinking, even at a young age, it seems weird that they're using this cartoon camel.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad had a Popular Mechanics subscription, and I'd always read it and everything, and just cigarette ads and liquor ads all over the place.
They sold the candy cigarettes back then too, so that was.
Well, they didn't card you either. I mean, you could walk into the store. I remember going to buy a carton of cigarettes for my grandfather at the store when I was probably like 12 years old. You
were in Alaska. I don't think they even had any laws back then.
Yeah, they just had wolves, and you listened to them.
Don't steal from your neighbor's gold mine during the gold rush. That was about the only rule when you were growing up.
Their laws were a sign that said, "We frown upon murder."
Yeah, strongly.
No, they actually used to have a joke up here that you would get more time for killing a moose out of season and poaching than you would for killing your spouse. You claim cabin fever in the winter.
So would you get off easier if you said you were aiming at your spouse and you're a bad shot? I'm always looking for the loophole. So.
You should have talked to me when I went through. Never mind.
Yeah.
By the way, throw it to the chat room, Bim. Thank you. She found a GIF of Bill Murray saying, "I care." And
I like that one.
Okay, that's good.
That's from. Now, does everybody know what that's from? It's from Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
I watch Groundhog Day every year.
What day?
You know what? I watched the first 5 minutes of it over and over and over again all day long. That's just me, though.
What? Your name is the best name in the world. Look at this name. It's so good.
Come on and slam. And welcome to Japan.
That is the best name. Oh my gosh. That's it. I'm sorry. Everybody has to just turn off their chat handles now.
Competition is over.
Yeah, it's done. It's been won. It's so good.
And
so who won the internet? Let's find out.
Well, that would be hold on, let's see. Let me open up the envelope. And the winner for best Twitch handle is Come On and Slam and Welcome to Japan.
There you go. Oh.
All right, let's start a show. Come on, guys. What the hell? Come on.
You invited us. We're loose cannons.
Him more than me.
Oh man, I've got to do 3 of them today. Great. All right. So here we go. Welcome to House Roundtable, episode 264. It's Friday night. I'm Ben Bumhofer. With me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hello. Ben, it is Friday night here in Azeroth. I agree with you. I'm so glad you pointed it out because it gives me the opportunity to agree with you. And
so really,
yeah, it happens every week now.
at least once.
Ben, hi, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. That's enough out of you because we have guests with us here at the round table today. I would like to introduce Dirk and Mike. I highlighted them. I have a cool thing. Look at this. Oh, you can't see it because of the delay. Never mind. Chat will see it. I discovered a happy accident that if I hover over their picture in Skype, it makes the name pop up in the overlay.
Yes, but the thing is, John, our listeners might actually know them as Dex and Mac from the Goblin Gold podcast.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
Oh, was that how I should have done the intro? Well, yeah, crap.
It's okay.
You know what? I should probably just tell people what day it is.
That's kind of why I usually do the intro.
Oh, but when they invited us to the podcast, I said, it's going to be Friday the 13th. What could go wrong?
True. And you know what, John? Now the real names are out there. Their identity
got outed. Yeah.
Stolen.
Steal.
Thanks for doxing us, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So,
you
hold on. I think somebody's at my door. No.
There's a contract you sign when you agree to come on this show.
I must have e-signed it by mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
It's implied. It's implied.
It's a it's a standard verbal contract.
So, yeah.
We ask, you say yes, and then we just do whatever.
Yeah. Then we release all your public information out for the world.
It's like Facebook's user agreement, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
5,000 pages.
What happened was I saw the Zuckerberg hearings and I was like, man, when can I get that many cameras pointed at me?
Yes.
I gotta get started now. That's so many cameras.
Oh man, so many times that he had that look on his face, like these guys don't even know what Facebook is. There were a few of those moments.
To be fair, I don't know what Facebook is anymore.
Yeah, if you go to the Azeroth Roundtable Facebook page. I'm sorry.
We have a Facebook page. When was that last updated?
Right.
A while ago.
Great. We're on there for you.
Zuckerberg the whole time he's like, look, I just made Facebook to meet girls. That was in college. That was all I was trying to do, man. Leave me alone. Sweet. Isn't that how it's? I think that's how it went.
Yeah, pretty much. If the social network has anything to do with it.
Right.
Speaking of the social network, World of Warcraft.
Wow, good job, Joe.
Yeah, I got it. I felt bad about doxing our guests, so now I'm going to just be really good at transitions. I'll be good at one thing.
Sorry, my attorney's really gentle.
I can tell people what day it is, and I can do a cool transition.
Or just say World of Warcraft.
Give me two things, I'll transition between them.
Okay. Okay, transition between needing a thing to transition to and Jurassic Park.
Man, I really need a topic to transition to. It hasn't been this dire since the T-Rex got out of his electrical paddock in Jurassic Park.
Good job, John. Good job.
All right.
But speaking of dinosaurs, Ungoro Crater. How crazy is that place?
I totally thought he was going to mention you, Dirk.
I did.
That's where I would have went.
You always do.
Well, so okay, here's the thing. Speaking of dinosaurs, I don't know if you guys have seen actually any of the screenshots coming out of the Zandalari area from the alpha and everything. There's dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah.
Now,
Mrs. Mac has been she got an alpha invite and I still haven't. And so she's over there playing every night. She won't give me the password to her computer. So I'm
Well, I mean, everybody knows that, you do sign and say that only you're going to be the one on the account. It's part of the EULA. So, You know what? You're trying to actually break her terms of service, and that's not nice.
But isn't that just an allegory for marriage?
What about the what's mine is hers and what's hers is hers?
Yeah.
That's what I signed. I don't know the rest of you, but...
Do you agree to have and to hold and break everyone's EULA agreements?
My EULA, my body, my temple.
And speaking of temples, in the Zandalari zone, in the alpha.
Here we go.
Well, okay, no, seriously, like just kind of tying it all into stuff. So big dinosaurs and everything. There were some things that have been data mined, new mounts coming out and everything like that. I don't know if there's actually going to be a big Brontosaurus mount, but I would freaking love it. I just hope that it is through some sort of quest as opposed to making gold or buying it via. That does.
This is a perfect guess to really take a hard stance on. I hope it's not that dirty freaking gold.
I have an opinion on what they'll do. It'll be one of two things. It'll be a 1 in 5 million drop rate on a mob that spawns only on every other Friday. Or you'll go to Dalaran and spend 5 million gold to buy it from a vendor. That's my guess.
I could kind of totally see that as being the big money sink for the next expansion.
Yeah, if it's a craftable, it would probably have to be a craftable because what's that?
I said that'd be great.
Do you think Blizzard just at a certain point said, "Okay, guys, we have a problem. When a new expansion comes out, everybody gets on their biggest dumb mount and goes and stands on top of the quest giver. So what if we make the mount so big that the quest givers are now visible beneath their legs?"
Well,
I was going to go somewhere. I decided not to.
So standing on the quest giver only hurts people who click target, right?
As opposed to typing /target?
Yeah.
Hey, come on. We live in a modern era. I want to click stuff. I'm done with the EverQuest days of going up to somebody and being like, "Hail," and then they're like, "Greetings, adventurer. Boy, it sure was a day." And then I have to be like, "Day." And then they're like, "Yeah, let me tell you about it." Yeah, what day?
What adventure?
Who day? Where adventure? What going on?
You had to get just the right phrasing or you weren't getting a quest.
Yeah, and everybody did the bare minimum too. Nobody really role played it. Nobody was fancy and was like, "Greetings, sire. Yes, please tell me about your day." Everybody was just like, "What day? Who day? They day."
Or when they screw up the quest text, so that instead of "I will bring mail to Koinos," it's now "I will bring nail." NAIL.
Yeah, where they have a typo when they have an N, and they fix it 15 years later.
I don't know what to type. I just genuinely don't know what to say to this person. Anyway, that's how I feel about typing /target. It's too much work, and it reminds me of old days.
Are you gonna try to sit there and claim that in World of Warcraft you read all of the quest text when you click on that yellow exclamation point?
Oh, I do.
Yes, because you can't prove otherwise.
I don't think I've ever read any of it, and it's like I can't figure out this quest. Did you read what he said? No.
No, seriously. If it's the first time I've done the quest, I read the whole thing.
I'm gonna get a shirt that says, "I knew where Mankirk's wife was before they put in quest tracking."
And I'm gonna get one that said, "I knew where his wife was before he knew his wife."
Oh.
That's nature.
I wouldn't want to mess with Mankirk. He's a man.
He cannot keep track of his wife. I mean, that's his own problem.
Well, now he's very upset.
Well, okay, so serious question here.
Okay.
If you had to fight one of them, would you prefer to fight Mankirk or Gammon?
Jeez, I didn't expect like the hardest question ever to be asked right here on Azeroth Roundtable. My goodness.
Mud pit or the octagon?
You know what? I have an answer. Here's my answer. I'm ready for this one.
Okay.
Gammon. Because there's a 38% chance it's not actually Gammon and it's one of my idiot raid team members dressed up as Gammon.
That's when you know you're hanging out with the right people.
So,
John, you should come to raid more often, by the way.
how many gammons are there?
Lately, 0.
Oh man, you guys need a gammon quota filled.
Well, are you gammon?
I could be.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so
Does it usually go off the rails this early? I mean, I don't watch every.
it can.
Okay.
But anyway, so we do have an announcement date. We have a date for the expansion. It has been announced. See, I can actually talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've talked a bit about, kind of our bucket list before the expansion comes out and everything. And just to kind of fill people in, yes, I did work on the Mage Tower this last time it was up. And yes, I did swear a bunch, and I felt like I was a horrible player of the game.
Okay, can I also give an update on the Mage Tower?
Sure.
I saw it was up, and I felt woefully unprepared for it. And I was like, but you know what? The first one's free. And I'll get in there and see how it goes. And I lasted 2 seconds. I was like, man, F this game. I'm done. I will get it. I feel stronger. I upgraded one of my legendaries. It's now a billion eye level or whatever we're up to now.
Yeah.
Now, how excited are you going to be to throw that into the big fiery pit?
So here's the great thing. I have always loved that. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, I worked so hard for my purples. I imagine they all sound like Keanu Reeves vaguely. And so they're like, I just hate giving it up for greens. I love it. Like, to me, getting new gear, man, there is not especially in the era of transmog, there is not a sympathetic bone in my body to gear. I'm like, great, shitty green bracers, buy old bracers. Oh, epic sword, whew, throw it over there. I am sad to see artifact weapons leaving simply because...
Yeah, that's what I was... Yeah.
As a rogue, I'm very dependent on my weapons being good. And what I loved about artifact weapons was it was like a guarantee that your weapons will always be really good. And it was really nice to not have to worry about that particular piece of gear. And now having to go to a place where, once again, not only do I have to rely on one good weapon drop, but 2 good weapon drops to happen to make me feel relevant. Because it would be like, someone's like, hey, do you want a full set of sweet new gear or 2 good weapons? I'd be like, give me the 2 good weapons. That's what I actually need to be good. So I am going to miss artifact weapons, but other than that, the rest of it.
You weren't surprised, were you, that they were going to do that? You expected it, right? That they were going to do away with it with the next expansion.
I thought they were pretty open about it. I think it was pretty clear. There was a part of me in the back of my brain that said, this is not Garrison's 2.0. Like, this is a cool feature that I've genuinely liked from day one of the expansion and still enjoy it today. Yeah. Maybe not as much, but I still I unlocked the ability to upgrade it again the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go click the thing and make it better.
Something you're gonna grind and grind and grind.
So
from the development point of view, though, they had to get rid of it. I mean, it boxes them into a corner if they.
It ultimately makes sense, and I understood it, but there was that part that was like, well, it is popular, and how do you top the Ashbringer?
Oh, wait a minute, though. My roots and Mac's roots are in Everquest. I assume yours are too, right?
Yes.
Sounded like it? Okay. So, epic weapons. It's the same. It's the same thing. From Everquest had these epic weapons, the huge long quests that took forever to do. And then you got this weapon, and people wanted them to stay relevant after every expansion. And they got into a little bit of trouble trying to manage that, and they made a lot of people unhappy. And then they did Epics 2.0, and then they said, no, we're done with this. We're not going to do it anymore. But yeah, just the idea of not giving yourself, you've got a slot that's that's locked in. You can't improve, or you're going to upset people. You can't put something out that's going to replace it. I don't know. I understand.
Like overall, the thing that I care most about is that we are going to have the appearances unlocked for them. And
yeah.
If you want to role play, oh, the staff that I have, it's still, like the super duper awesome mega staff that I've been, using for the past expansion because it is so powerful. Why would I ever get rid of it? Then, like for the RPers mine stuff totally works. It's there. Even though like I've, kind of spoiled myself on the video where I kind of see what happens to them.
Yeah.
I know what's going to happen and everything, but again, I'm still just really happy to have the appearance unlocked at least because, I spend a lot of time working for those bits of it. So having it in transmog and available is the thing that's really the most important for me. I am with John though, where I really did like the fact that I didn't have to worry about finding a new weapon, every single raid tier or, trying to get, one tiny little bit of an upgrade where, we're just dumping all the stuff into one thing that it's going to be the thing that's going to level up for us essentially for the whole expansion. And that part's, I mean, I liked it. It was really good design. And like, I would love it if, the Azurite necklace and armor and stuff, like something similar like that happens in future expansions. I'd be perfectly cool with artifact stuff, going forward.
It sounds like they're going to do that sort of thing. They're just going to have a new vehicle to do it when a new expansion comes out, which, like you said, that's fine.
And Dex is going to laugh at me now because for years playing any of the games, I didn't care, and I've said this many times. I didn't care about Project Runway. I don't care what the item looks like. I just want it functional. And then on my shaman, we talked about it in a podcast about 4 or 5 months ago. I had this stupid mask that I just couldn't stand the look of it, and so I transmogged it. And he said that's like the gateway drug. And now now everything is transmogged, and I'm like, oh my god, I went down the rabbit trail.
Now he's like, did you see the latest one on RuPaul? It was so awesome. He's there. He's 100% now. He's there.
It's it's amazing the way that goes. I will say I was always on board with the feature, but I mean, just recently, I do not. I know, I understand that, you gentlemen did a gold making podcast, so you probably cannot relate to my plight. I am not a rich WoW character. My character is a, use it or lose it and never see any of it come back kind of mentality. And I just bought a damn yak. Just because, heaven forbid, I have to travel to another town before I can transmog. Like, I need to be on the road transmogging. I need to be ready to transmog right out the gate. I need to have early ready access to transmog. Now
when you have to transmog at a moment's notice, right?
Let me tell you the one thing in this game, like, if you want to know, I complain about a lot of stuff. I got a history because I got a list. It's not really full complaints. It's just I'm vocal about the things that I think could be better. The one thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, please, we need a better method, is that it drives me crazy that when I make a new tune, I don't have access to money to transmog right away, and I have to log out and send gold to my other character so that I can afford transmog on them. When they were doing Trial of Style and it was free transmogs, I was over the moon happy. I was like, my low-level characters don't need money. I can just do this. This is great. This is the best day.
Time to make them and do it right now.
Yeah.
Best thing to do.
Oh, man. Transmog is actually a gold maker if you get the right pieces.
Right. Kidding! My goodness.
There you go.
That's the secret. We just unlocked
that would be your area right there, since you obviously know a lot about it and you're passionate about it. Find the pieces that you paid way too much for and go farm them. And sell them to other people.
Other people that'll pay way too much for it. That's right.
Yeah.
There are other people that'll pay way too much. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, every time you loot a piece of armor, you're like, let's try that on. Skimpy. I hear money falling in the background.
Right. All that very revealing plate, it sounds like money hitting the ground.
Thanks,
and
Burning
the real valuable
Crusade.
stuff is low level.
That's like Mrs. Mac is trying to get her flying in Draenor. And so the faction is the big problem with that, but you've got those medallions of the Legion. And I went out and spent way too much gold buying all of those in the or a bunch of them at the auction.
I love faction you can buy your way through.
I spent probably about 750K just helping her get the faction up so she can get her flying and trainer.
Wow, I thought the like nearly 500K I dumped into alchemy this expansion was a lot.
What were you spending it on for alchemy for that?
To be able to create, cauldrons for my raid team and like get the procs for it and everything. It's a whole huge long.
Oh, you were leveling it?
Yeah. Yeah, I had to level it, and the thing is in order to get the third level of one of the flasks, it's just RNG. So who knows when the actual recipe will go through. So I ended up, my time is more important than in farming all the mats that I needed for that. Mm-hmm. So I spent a heck of a lot of gold just getting it to the point where that would finally drop so I can finish leveling and make that stupid cauldron. And man, like I went into Legion with a good, decent amount of money, and I'm coming out with not nearly as much as I did before.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, and I've said this, Mac and I've talked about this before on our podcast many times, is that to be non-specific on a great gold making method is do what everybody else is not doing. So when a new expansion comes out and you've got all these new great things that are gold making opportunities, all of the things from the previous expansion and the one before that still make gold, no one's doing them anymore. So you've got now a supply and demand deficit that's going to work in your favor, and you can really so you can concentrate your efforts doing something that's not current and boring, and you're burned out on it, and you probably hate it, but it's a lot of gold. And then buy your way through the stuff that everybody else is killing each other over to get done. So it's a way to step backward in order to jump past everybody else.
Well, that's what
and it works. So
the new expansion where they've allowed people to have the new races and everyone's bringing some of the new races up and they're leveling those. It's put a lot of people in Draenor now. Hexweave bags on my server have gone like they've halved in the last 2 months. I mean, just boom from like 3,000, 3,300 a piece to like 1,800 a piece or lower. And I'm sitting there going, I got to find something else to do because I was making a ton on those.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely one of the best things to do. I mean, especially since this expansion, tailoring didn't get a bigger bag. In fact, if I remember correctly, they got a smaller bag recipe.
And they got one that's the same.
They've got one that's the same inside the imbued silkweed bag, and that's another thing.
More
that's
expensive,
really
but the same.
Yeah, on the auction house, you've got guys, and I still sell my imbued silkweed bags for a lot of gold, for like twice what the hexweaves are going for now. They're the same size bag. If I wanted a 30-slot bag, I would buy the hexweed bag. I don't care what it looks like in my. I mean, it's not going to make my character give an appearance.
But this one feels very nice.
Let me tell you why that's a thing, Mac. This is why that's a thing. I could go to my wife right now and I could say, I see this purse at Target that's exactly the same size as your Dooney and Burke purse that you have there. They're the same size. They hold the same amount of stuff. This one's $1.50. How much did you pay? And she'll gently explain to me why I'm insane.
I think that becomes a harder sell when we're talking about a little JPEG down in the corner.
Amazingly,
but it's a mighty fine JPEG.
Yeah, amazingly, people like Matt care a whole lot about how their character looks, the whole Project Runway thing. So you'd be surprised what people like him would spend at this point.
Hey, if I could see the bag on my character, I would probably care a whole lot.
I would too, actually.
Then you're probably excited about that new change in the next expansion that you can actually see the bags loaded on your back. You happy about that? No. You didn't read the latest patch notes on that?
No, that's a made up thing.
Dude, I haven't played since December. I don't know anything about what I'm talking about.
But that would be hilarious because we all carry around way too many bags. Like, that's the funny thing about MMOs. We all are like, sweet, look at all these bags. This is good. And then you try to imagine what that would actually look like, and you're like, my character
looks
with 16 dumb as hell. I'm
all
like,
at the same time, right?
Okay. He looks like he's just carrying for the football team. He's like, guys, don't worry about it. I got it.
Grumble. Every single one of us, just giant packs on our back.
One giant pack. We're carrying 6 of them.
No, they have multiple bags around and stuff. They could be different sizes.
I don't know. I don't pay much attention.
It'd be like you look like the equipment manager for some junior high school football team that everybody hates. Here, carry these. Yeah.
Is people will always know if you actually have bag space or not because the bags actually get bigger or smaller.
Couldn't help but notice that all your backpacks are sitting flat together.
Gnomes just look like a pile of 6 bags that move.
Okay.
Oh, man.
See the simple now. Well, then what they have to do is they have to bring back the soul pouches. They have to bring back the quivers,
right?
Stuff, and then it just look cool. Of course, then you'll be able to tell when your hunter is in raid and they don't have any arrows because the quiver's empty.
Oh man, that'd be so cool. If you had a quiver that actually showed the arrows.
Oh yeah, and you're getting down to 5, 4, 3, 3 arrows, and the raid leader's like, dude. Dude, you didn't bring,
know.
You didn't bring enough arrows.
Hey, Hawkeye, I can count. They're over there. Thump. No, I'm shooting. Thump.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're just plucking your string. Go buy some arrows.
I'd be all for that.
Yeah.
So are you excited about the classic server where you're going to have arrows and you're going to have to feed your pets when you're a hunter?
Well, hey.
Going back to that?
This is one of those topics that gets us emails, so let me treat this gingerly. No. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it.
You're not excited about that.
No.
I just
look. Okay, I will say this. So we were not recording live at the particular moment. Bless you. We were not recording at that particular moment, but I heard you say you were looking forward to WoW Classic, and I was like, there was a brief moment where I was like, Ben, what have we done? We invited one of those people on.
Wait
the
a
show.
minute.
But then you said,
the challenge.
Gold making, and I was like, oh, I get it. That is cool. That is a new kind of unique spin on it. That's interesting. I get it. There's the people who draw the line in the sand and was like, this is when WoW was good and it's never been good since.
No, I wouldn't call it home. I wouldn't go in there and go, this is where I want to live. That wouldn't happen. It's like everybody wants to see where the drive-by shootings take place, but nobody wants to live there. Okay. I'm just... there's going to be a meme for that now. I know, but for me,
tours,
the idea of being on a realm where 5,000. See, now I'm gonna get in trouble with John in this now. To be on a realm where 5,000 gold is like, how am I going to get my epic flying? How am I ever going to get 5,000 gold? I remember when that was a thing.
Oh yeah, me too.
Okay.
It was like you can never have that much money. I was like, can the numbers go that high? I don't know.
Well, the funny thing is John actually gave me the 3,000 gold I needed to get fast flying because he was tired of waiting for me.
I did?
Yes. Well, you lent it to me. I mean, have to pay you back.
I wasn't going to reveal this, but my plan is actually, I probably won't be the one to do it, but I'm going to try to be the first person on the classic realm to get 1 million gold. And I don't even, it's going to take an insane amount of time, I have a feeling.
Really long time.
Because it's just, there's not going to be that much gold on the server initially. It's not like I'm going to be able to sell things for a whole lot of gold, in the auction house to do it. So I don't know. It might be a stupid, stupid goal, but,
plate mail bikini market, not going to be what it is right now.
Well, especially if that was from Burning Crusade, because classic WoW.
Well, yeah.
So is it gonna be? Have they decided if it's gonna progress or is it going to be forever classic?
Last I heard,
don't know.
It seemed like it was just gonna be, level 60 vanilla. That's it. At least
just vanilla.
That's what it looked like at BlizzCon. But
Yeah, I know what they were saying there, but they were being a little vague, if you remember. They weren't really kind of laying it out too much, and I had a lot of questions that didn't get answered that were sidestepped that I was trying to find out. But
we were trying to listen, but there was a kid sitting next to us
Oh.
playing his little thing on his phone that I almost strangled. It's like, put your earphones in.
I apologized for that, and
he actually did,
I would like you to not bring it up on the show.
I mean, shaming a guy on his own show like that is just.
I said I was
How
sorry.
do you sleep at night?
With loud music going.
Usually with one eye open. Mrs. Mac, yes.
Show me on the Goblin doll with Bad Man touched you. I mean, it's
so classic WoW is a thing. Like, I will always say my stance is I don't begrudge anybody excited for it, but I lived through it, and I'll check it out probably if I'm being realistic. It's been a while since I've seen the Barrens as a single zone. Like, sure, why not? I'll go look at it. But I'm not like, heck yeah, I can't wait to relive all those Chuck Norris jokes. Like, it's just, I'll see it and I'll go, yeah, this is old. And then I'll go
you think
log
the jokes
into
will
the
be
new
classic too?
Yeah. I'm gonna the second
Are you trying to make me more excited about this?
The second I get into the Barrens, thing one on my to-do list. Chuck Norris is a well-known martial artist. Rafflecopter. Just type it out. Just get it out there. Let everybody know that, hey, Classic is back.
I have an idea to help you make your 1,000,000 gold on the Classic server.
Okay.
Park a character in the Barrens on Mankirk's wife, and then just tell people where she is.
Just slash yell every couple of seconds, she's over here.
She's at the bar drinking Fireball like it's not going to be sold next year.
So she gets lost on it. No,
Now, one of the things that I'm looking forward to is I love the old talent trees the way they worked before they fixed them to death.
Like for a second, I'm like, fix them. So you're saying there was a problem?
You didn't see the air quotes. Yeah.
Again, you're losing me with some words, but you're winning me over with a few others. I miss the days of every level mattering. I'm certainly not going to go on an episode after I was like, hey guys, what if they got rid of leveling because leveling is
40-man
now.
Core. You definitely need to do that.
I'm not going to go from that to, no, those talent trees were bad. It was nice to get something. I don't know why I said that like Borat. It was nice to get something. It was nice.
Very nice.
My talents.
Levels of spells. Yeah.
It was nice to get something
to
every other level.
Time.
It was good. It was good. But those talent trees were awful.
Okay. So, not exactly serious gold making question, but if you didn't actually have to pay for all of your different spell levels and all that stuff every time you leveled, do you think that you could actually come out ahead with a couple gold by the time you get to level 60?
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah.
This is a game. This is a game where early on in the game, your professions actually make gold, and I'm thinking. You're
not going to make gold in the very beginning because nobody's going to have any.
Right.
You know, so you have to concentrate your efforts on leveling up faster than everybody else.
And there are people that are going to go back for just the nostalgia. I mean, that's what happened on EverQuest when they brought out their.
And I'll bring my cash register and follow them around.
Yeah.
Because nostalgic people don't care how much money they spend for things.
It's true. I'm not gonna stay, so I can't take it with me.
If that mask doesn't match the rest of their outfit, they're gonna pay through the nose.
Oh my gosh!
To transmog.
You just made me realize if I play on Classic, there's no transmog. No sale. Done. That's a
See,
done deal.
I keep inadvertently giving you this stuff.
Best feature, not in the game.
It's like, good idea, bad idea. Which way is John actually going to end up by the end of this conversation?
I was like, it might be fun to check out. And then no transmog. Oh shit. You're right. No transmog.
Wait a minute, no transmog, but the leather and the chain bikini is current, right? It's like current stuff. Or no, it's not.
It was BC.
It was yeah, but then you've also got you got the cool stuff like in Dead Mines and if you're playing Rogue.
Yeah, but that's Cataclysm.
What about the battlegrounds that were nice?
Dead Mines, Cataclysm. Why?
Well, no, they revamped all that stuff, and then they made essentially like leveling sets, so that there's like the plate set for like 10 to 20, and then 20 to 30.
Oh no, I'm talking about before Cataclysm, the set that was in there before.
Yeah, like the Shadow
what was
Craft.
it called?
The scimitars.
No, I'm not talking about the weapons. I'm talking about the.
Basically, the stuff you get from the Dark Moon Fair now.
Yeah, but you won't be able to get that in the classic. There.
Sure, yeah, you can. That all dropped from vanilla raids. Like Shadowcraft armor, that stuff is vanilla. That stuff was cool.
But you think that the first time the Dark Moon Fair comes around on Classic that they're going to...
there will be no Dark Moon Fair on Classic.
That's what I was initially trying to say.
Yeah.
Well, definitely not the current one.
No, but that's the thing is the sets that the Dark Moon Fair currently sells, they sell because it's no longer available in the game. But
right. You're comparing current. You're comparing current to the Classic. What I was trying to say was there's a reason if you're on Classic to go into there if you want that look on that server.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The Dead Mines used to be so different. So.
Yeah, Sunken Temple too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Hell
yeah. I like the modern Sunken Temple.
The old one I got lost.
I know my way around.
Yeah.
I don't get lost.
Hey, do you guys have 7.5 hours? Because I'm thinking of running Sunken Temple.
Yeah, basically.
Exactly.
Hey,
Where
John.
did you guys go? I got lost. Yeah.
John, do you remember when I was leveling and I had a quest in there? He said, "Oh, I'll take you in," and then like 3 hours later, of you being 70 and me being like 30 or something like that, we were finally done.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know this place. I've been here before, but there's just hallways and worms, and I fell down a hole.
I think we need to kill this guy in order to make a boss spawn over here and run all the way back. No, that didn't do it. Okay, let's try this one over here. And
all right, now there's a shitload of dragons. I don't know what to do.
Oh man, wouldn't it be amazing when the classic server comes out if Wowhead just gets deleted?
Well, I've already got it downloaded to my computer, so it wouldn't affect me at all. But, no.
There's an advantage of having lots of gold, yeah.
I would prefer a world where it gets turned on and Thoughtbot comes back.
Okay, but you haven't said what the worst thing about the classic server is going to be that even I'm going to have to admit is going to be horrible to deal with, and that's
people.
You can't play a goblin.
Oh. That's
you can't
true.
play a goblin.
That's true.
Oh,
it was the only good thing that came out of Cataclysm.
What if they have the old models too?
They will.
They will.
I mean, I would assume. I guess I'm speaking
I
very
think so,
authoritatively about a thing I don't know.
We're talking about like we're making the decisions for how it's going to be.
It will, Ben. Don't worry. It will. And it will also have transmog for reasons.
It's like the people of Blizzard are going to watch this and they're going to go, well, they did commit us to it. Now we got to do it.
Azeroth Roundtable said we got to do new goblins.
Azeroth Roundtable said we're doing it. So what choice do we have now?
Well, then in that case, let's just make, like paladins for Alliance and Horde.
I would like the idea. Like, this is how I picture a board meeting going. They're like, guys, let's talk about WoW Classic. Do we want to just put it out as it was, or should we bring some of the quality of life things that we've added in? And someone goes, let's bring some quality of life things in. Great, what should we do? And people start throwing out ideas, and they end up on current WoW.
If they do that, that is the definition of slippery slope. They're going to be so sorry they went down that road, because that's exactly what EverQuest did with their classic.
Oh my
They put in all the quality of life stuff, and then people were like, "This isn't classic." The name of our guild when we play on the Everquest progression servers is not classic. So, you know,
6.5 hours later, they're just like, okay, so Sylvanas and Anduin are mad at each other.
and we all agree we're putting in all the quality of life stuff except transmog, right? We got it? Okay. John will be happy about that.
And then I go, no, I won't. Okay, transmog's back in. All right, great.
Yeah, I can just picture something like, well, Wrath was a lot of fun. Let's just add that too.
Why don't we start when the plague happened? Because that was the fun time to put. That was actually my favorite moments in WoW, and I'm going to lose a lot of people with this one. But the idea that you could go into Ironforge, I remember going into Ironforge, it's like, I just killed 15 people. And now they're spreading it, and it's great,
No, I agree. Like, and that's the thing. I think we said it a couple episodes ago. We were like, if somebody said right now, hey guys, there's a game-breaking bug in WoW.
What's the bug?
That when you log in, your character just explodes. Everybody would log into the game. Yeah. There's not a single person that would be like, whoa, I better not log in. Everyone would be like, I have to see that.
There's a fine line between game-breaking bug and feature. Awesome feature. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So one of the saddest moments I had was I took my paladin at the time, got her infected, and then ran into Orgrimmar and onto like the second floor of the drag, and on the second floor of one of the buildings up there just to hide so that I would be a zombie so I could like potentially start the outbreak again after Wrath launched. So I logged out as the zombie. Then, played Wrath for a good long while. And then 4 or 5 months into it, I'm like, okay, we're going to see if we can do this. Log back in. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be great. And then my character just died. And then that was it.
They planned for you.
Oh, my younger brother almost rage quit when that happened. He was just flipping out, telling me, that's it. I'm done with this game. I can't believe they did that. And I was like, dude, let me tell you what you can do, and it'll be really cool. And so I talked to him for a little bit about it, and I convinced him that it would be fun to inflict the pain that he's feeling right now on everyone else. Yeah. And it's amazing. One man's tragedy is another man's awesome night.
This is how we get to PvP servers. If anybody ever wonders why I leveled on a PvP server, it was because I started on a PvE server, and somebody came in and killed all the people in the town, and I was like, that guy's ruining the game for everybody.
Yeah.
The only answer is for me to go on a PvP server and ruin the experience for somebody else. Like, I gotta do it. Like, now It's the only way that I can be satisfied. My gameplay experience is ruined. I must now go do the same.
PvP, and I can loot your corpse. Oh, I mean, I gotta put something gold making in there. I gotta do it. That's where... And you know what World of Warcraft really needs?
Bro, I suck at PvP.
The game. Why am I losing my train of thought on the game tokens? They're just called tokens, right?
Yeah, the WoW tokens.
The WoW token. Make the WoW tokens sellable by everybody in the game, and to where it's a market that fluctuates based on supply and demand, from player to player.
And then do what Eve does, and you can kill people and loot their WoW tokens.
Well, I mean...
That'd be good, though.
I'm into,
true.
I'm into incrementalism. I was going to get them to agree to the first part before I told them the second part of my evil plan.
You have to store them in boxes.
The way to transport them is to get a caravan of your guildmates to go from one place.
You know when somebody's trying to destroy your good idea when they say, that sounds like something EVE Online did. It's like, man, wait. Yeah.
Let's equate it to EVE Online, the greatest, worst MMO ever.
Of course, I got to say, that reminds me of a time, probably in Wrath or so. I was hanging out in the auction house looking for something, and all of a sudden I saw someone emote, steals 3 copper out of your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. Good on them. And then one person just started yelling at the person who was doing
my copper. copper.
Give me my copper back. And then he did it again. You did it again. Give me my copper back.
You're gonna be broke in a minute.
Great.
The copper thing reminded me of old EverQuest, and went back there where coin used to actually weigh something, and people would beg for money at the front gates of whatever city it was. Here, hold on a second, you'd give them 10,000 copper.
Well, EverQuest had this thing about, should we test this? We'll just push it. What could go wrong? Nobody betas anything anymore. Come on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where people would beg for money and you'd give them like 1 million copper and they couldn't move.
My favorite EverQuest thing. I don't know if we've ever talked about this on this show. We bring it up every now and then, but I don't think we've ever talked about this. I just want to remind people how far we've come. Was that when you wanted to well, okay, so this was before item levels on gear, where you could theoretically get very good gear, give it to a low-level character, and your low-level character now had nice gear that they could actually use. There wasn't, like, level requirements on gear. You could be an overpowered low-level character. And so what you would do is you would go and you get all this great gear on your high-level character, and you'd want to give it to your low-level character. There were two ways to do it. You found a friend you really trusted, or... my method, you find a place where you're really hoping nobody will go. And you log out both characters, and you literally drop the stuff on the ground. Anybody in the game could come by and just pick it up and have your amazing gear. And then you log out really quick. It's the longest 30 seconds of your life. Because you're just like, oh God, what if that door opens?
Right.
Log
in as your other character and then frantically pick it up and put it on.
I used to do that in the water with the fridge.
Two things about that, and you'll appreciate this because you actually played EverQuest. Why is he going into that room in Freeport? There aren't any vendors in there. There's no. Oh, he's gonna drop something and come and get it with his ult. He's hiding. It's like, let me go wait. Hey, how you doing? No, I'm cool. I'm just... Why is he leaving? You know?
Following you for no reason at all.
You missed the third way to do it, though. The third way to do it is to have 5 accounts and to be able to just transfer it to yourself if you want to.
I got there eventually, but I was on dial-up at the beginning, and I only had one phone line to use.
Right. Yeah, you're going back that far. Yeah, I remember the dial-up days. That was crazy. You know, how many people in the stream right now are Googling dial-up to find out what that is?
I don't know.
I'm disappointed if somebody isn't doing that.
Okay, if you don't know what this sound is.
Yeah. Congratulations. If you don't know what that sound is.
Oh, the other thing we used to love to do in EverQuest, Dex, we would charm pets, charm animals and things like that in the newbie zone and put real powerful weapons on them.
Buff the hell out of them.
Buff the hell out of them and then walk out of the zone so the mob's running around and then come walking back in the zone again and people are going, what the hell?
Right, and then you say it's there's a flowing black silk sash on one of the rats.
Yeah.
I charmed it and I put it on there, and then I'm talking to Dirk. I'm going. I told him that I also put all the top level buffs and thorns on them, and I hasted them.
They go up, they hit it one time,
weapons, and just yeah. Highly entertaining. I mean, I don't know why WoW didn't let things like that slip through the cracks.
You know, it's a different kind of game, but you had your own, your own levels of fun.
Right.
I used to spend hours in EverQuest just casting Stinging Swarm on myself and then running around just going, bees!
Well, the problem is the WoW development team never had that guy that was always saying, what could go wrong? Just do it. Yeah, it's a plague. It'll burn itself out. It'll go on for 15 minutes and then it'll be over. We'll probably have to restart it a few times.
If the corrupted blood plague had hit EverQuest, it would still be going on to this day.
There would be people that would keep it going, and there would be people trying to figure out how to use it to kill the sleeper.
Yeah. And Sony would be sitting there going, I don't know. What could we do? What could we do?
It's
Want to get a pizza?
I don't know. What if we released another expansion?
oh man, yeah, we'll just push out another expansion. So I kind of off topic here, but related to something we were talking about earlier.
We've been so on topic this entire episode.
Well, off of the off topic that we were just on. Is that a thing? But how do you guys feel about if WoW implemented what a lot of other MMOs have done, to where the auction house is both buyer and seller that you can set up, so that you create almost a stock market bid ask situation? To there are pros and cons that I see to it, but you guys think that would be a good idea in general?
You've seen more modern MMOs kind of adopt that sort of thing, and I definitely like it. I like it from a very convenience point, but I'm a very low-end user when it comes to that. Like, I'm just, I'm a gold maker's dream, because I'm the person that's just like, I have money. I don't care. I need this thing now. Right. And, I'm basically keeping everybody in business. So that method works really well for me. So I look at it and I'm like, that's great. But I'm sure there are downsides.
If you were a non-gold maker, it is a total win, because you're never really going to pay that real exorbitant price for anything. Mm-hmm. And you're always going to get a fair price when you're needing to sell something in the auction house. So for that type of player, they don't lose in any way on that. And from a gold maker's standpoint, it gives you the opportunity to play the other side of it, to where you don't have to just bark in trade that you're that you're looking to buy something.
I want to buy up all the assumptions for you have. Send them to me.
You could just put something in there. Yeah, I'll buy X amount for this amount per item. And if no one's selling it, then you're going to make your own market. But the common things are going to find their equilibrium and really help the non-gold maker to do, to make their gold last a lot longer. So.
As a poor person, I'm okay with that.
I'd love to see that. And like I said, I'd love to see the token to where it's a fair market on, but the thing is, you'll end up with a different price for it on each and every realm. Mm-hmm. That's what happens with that. Every market is different. It's like battle pets. You can actually move them from realm to realm, but there is still a huge difference from one realm to another, and that's a lot of gold too. That's just easy, stupid, simple gold.
It's the only way that I got gold on my Alliance character.
That was
it's the way to transfer gold. Absolutely.
That was how I came back from spending too much money and being like, oh no, I've crippled myself. And then I was like, wait a minute. I was stupid into collecting these pets that I never use. Sorry, Fluffy, you're going on the auction house.
So don't tell me that you were transmog guy, pet collector guy, mount collector guy, non-gold maker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, you were poor.
There's nothing.
I was.
I do a show about battle pets, and I like to collect mounts, and I love transmog. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. I'm the triple poor guy. It's okay. I don't totally go after toys. Toy boxes.
Well, you got to get enough toys to get the achievement, so you can get the mount.
There's a mount for that?
Yeah, isn't there?
Oh, probably.
There's a mount for, is it 300 toys?
Yeah, I think it's called, you'll now be able to have fun for 6 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Once you get 300.
Although, okay, I just really quick aside, I went through Draenor dungeons and raids, and I got my trans-dimensional Pepe whistle. Mm-hmm. You can cast that thing every minute. And you get Pepe on your head for an hour.
Does Blizzard know? Because that seems like the kind of thing that they would just...
Yeah, they should swap it.
Why doesn't it have a 24-hour cooldown? What's going on?
That is the most game-breaking thing I've ever heard in my life. They have to do something about that.
Are people having fun with the toy box? Somebody call the Blizzard cops.
Unfortunately, the name toy gives the impression that it's something you're supposed to have fun with, and that's where the flaw is, right?
Thankfully, they have item descriptions to ruin all of that for us.
Well, it's like that rock feather kite they brought out at the beginning of
that actually had more of a use.
Right. Well, I mean, it had a real short cooldown in the beginning, and then they moved it. I mean, I had that on all my tunes, and it was like, now it's like, yeah.
It was a little overpowered.
I will forever be mad because I busted my butt for sweet fire wings, and I was like, man, this is going to be the new trend. This is going to be a new era of cosmetic items, and wow, it's going to be great. And then they were like, oh, you can have like almost a 100% uptime on those? Nerf it.
No, it was a 30-minute cooldown, but they lasted for an hour.
Yeah, and they would go away if you got into combat, so theoretically...
Well, no, they stayed if you got into combat. They went away if you died.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Same thing for John.
You could technically... Yeah, I died every time you're in a fight.
Right,
That's why I play the transmog game. It's far less violent.
Still looks pretty, even if I die.
Mm-hmm. I died, but I looked fantastic.
Look at that corpse over there.
I haven't seen a corpse this good looking since... Oh, I can't tell that story.
Since
Yamcha. You know? So...
Nice.
So, anyway...
This is how we get banned on other podcasts.
Hey, John, what did you mean by the message you just sent me? Say that again and I'm booting you. What was that about?
Oh, it was... What I meant was that if you say it again, I'll boot you.
No.
You're going to boot them?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we really need WoW, and I promised this would make me come back immediately.
Immediately.
Without pause, it would cause me to come back immediately. Make all mounts cageable like pets, so you can sell them.
Oh man.
Well, let's see.
All your golds belong to me.
99% of John's mounts would be gone.
It's possible. I like collecting mounts, but I only use one really. So
yeah.
I mean, I could part with a lot of them, and I do like fighting Onyxia, so I could.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell Ashes of Alara. It took me too many years to get that one. But
oh, that was cake.
Yeah,
he got it the first time he was in the zone. First time he ever entered the zone, he got it.
I have to have told this story. I'll tell it again because it's a short one. Ashes of Alar was a great mount for me to get because it was totally, what is it, a false confirmation. The way it happened is I was on Twitter and a friend of mine posted, "God, Ashes of Alar." And my mind said, if it worked for them, it could work for me. And so I logged in and went and killed Kael'thas. And as I was doing it, I even had that thought. I was like, that's probably not how this works. And it dropped. And I was like, that's it. It drops at certain times. If other people get a mount, you just go do it too.
500 plus attempts for me. Ben, very important question because I need to know if I hate everybody here. Did you get Ashes of Alar the first time you went?
Well, let me tell you a story. I farmed Tempest Keep by myself quite a bit. This was back when it was really hard to farm it as a mage.
Right.
To the point where, like, it's like, okay, first guy's coming. I'm all the way in the back, letting him come to me, and then, you know, like staggering him out and everything and doing all that stuff. Did it for a very long time. One day, finally, Ashes dropped. I'm like, this is great. I got it. I vowed never to go back in there. 6 months later, we were doing just a random raid team fun night and everything. It's like, oh, let's go to Tempest Keep, see if Ashes drops. We're like, okay, cool, whatever. My next time going in there after I got the drop, it dropped again.
Oh.
I almost rolled just to be a dick, but I'm like, no, I'm okay.
Our first time,
I would have rolled if Mac was in the group with me for sure.
Dex was gonna show me this dungeon, and we went through them, and he goes, "You know what? We're high enough level. We can solo this each. So let me show you how to go through here. It was my first time in the zone. Let me show you how to do this, and then we'll come out. We'll drop group, and we'll both go in there, simultaneously.
We each get a shot at it, right?
We each get a shot at the mount. We go in there, and it's like, okay, and we're talking on Skype as we're doing this. And he goes in, and I said, okay, and I got this, and the loot was, and I didn't even know the name of the stupid mount. And I was like, okay, and I got this, and I got this Ashes of Alar. And he goes, oh, you're full of crap.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I got it. He goes, no, you didn't. You get an achievement in it. And I said, do you mean this one? And I clicked it, and it pops up in the kill, and he's like, oh. He rage quit Skype for about 5 minutes. You know?
Well, but the thing is, I came back the next day, and it was the very next on a different tune. Came in the next day and went through, and first time, just right through. First time after that time it dropped. So it's weird. Just RNG is a vicious.
Yeah, I actually found out that the flame talent of Illustrator was a mount because I tried to just randomly vend it because I'm like I was going for the pure blood Firehawk. That's all I cared about.
Yeah.
No idea that the mount even dropped. I'm just like, whatever, sell. Doesn't want this. What is? Oh, I got a mount. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, how's this for a called shot? So often we have stories of mounts. Guys, I would like to announce that tonight, after the show, Invincible dropped on the first try for me.
Oh, you know what? Me too.
Wow.
No, I take that, not that. The Blazing Drake dropped for me tonight.
Cool. I'm really excited when we can officially confirm that these things we called happened. But all I'm going to say is if it actually happens when I tweet that later, you all are going to freak the hell out.
So Mac, do you want to make any bold predictions about Stonecore?
No. My problem is when I know there's a mount there and I know what I'm going after, it never drops.
That's his problem.
If I go in fat, dumb, and stupid, if it drops for me and I'm like, oh, okay, and everyone is going, dude.
Yeah, that was the zone that I did a ton of power leveling of other characters through a Stonecore, and so I had a bunch of them drop.
Stonecore's
that just rotted, you know.
Oh, that's a great mount too.
Yeah.
And if you're farming it, remember it drops on normal, so you can just run outside and reset.
Yes.
Oh yeah, normal's the only version of it that I was doing when I was power leveling. So yeah. It was...
I just did it one day before raid. I'm like, oh, I got 5 minutes. Oh, it dropped. Okay.
I that's the one I've been trying for forever.
Yeah.
Good luck. By the way, your first attempt after the show tonight, it's gonna drop.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Let me know how it goes.
One of us might be right. So I'm just saying, now's the time to say it, and then you get to say you called it, and there's recorded evidence that you totally called it.
That or Nimrod's head, yeah.
and then you've got like a whole list of comments where people are saying, "Don't you love how they went back and they edited the timestamp on this thing?" I mean, come on.
We're live on Twitch. There's no
yeah. Like, I could totally see where they faked it. It's.
Well, you know what? With that being said, I've got to go get a mount. So, Dex, Mac, thank you very much for joining us this week on Azeroth Roundtable. It's a pleasure to have you guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
All right.
So, in the meantime, well, I mean, of course, the big question on everybody's mind is with Battle for Azeroth coming back, are you going to bring the podcast back?
You want me to take this one?
Yeah,
so I don't have to contradict everything you say right after you say it. What we've decided, or when I say we, I mean me. What I've moving forward, I don't want to edit podcasts anymore. Now I know you guys do a live show on Twitch, and then you just push it out to YouTube afterwards, right?
We have found an amazing way to be incredibly lazy at the things we do.
And see, that's the problem that I have is I put way more production than anybody even cared about into the show, and it took way too much time, and so I had to rethink that. Right now, we're doing the Twitch streams. We're going to do a variety of games, but certainly when the classic server comes out, there's going to be a lot of time spent on that on Dex and Mac Play, which is our Twitch, and so got that plug in there. But
that's going to let you do that later.
I know you. But so yeah, we're open to it though. But it's going to be more of a situation to where we we push something to YouTube after recording it live, where there won't be any editing involved. So it'll have a different look, a different feel to it. People have already gotten an idea of why we edited our podcast so heavily after seeing what we're like live in our Twitch. It's not pretty.
And other people have looked and gone, now I know why they did voice only. Yeah.
Right. They realize the reason for audio only too. They say, "Oh God." No. First thing they say, he really is that old. Somebody in our channel the other day said, "Oh my God, Mac looks just like Ron Jeremy." I'm not making this up. It would be funny if I was making it up, but I'm not. It's true. They said if he just grows his hair out, and I was like, yeah. If Ron Jeremy looked a lot older, maybe, but I mean, Ron Jeremy looks way too young. No.
Wow, harsh.
Yeah,
That is really harsh.
That's rough.
you see all the alcohol behind him. I take full responsibility for him needing that. But anyway, but never say never. It's in the realm of possibility. We're just different format in how we do it.
Well, I can confirm that if you don't edit the podcast, people will still listen.
Yeah. It's I can see that. I think I was really overthinking it about, spend 45 minutes recording a podcast and 2 days editing is just not cool.
There's a lot of things you can do that without on a podcast. Show notes, professionalism.
Oh, that ship sailed like after our 5th episode.
Anything in particular to say? Like we've really just wrung this towel as much as one person can.
like we said before, we were actually live when we were talking, and I before we had anybody listening. When I hate it when I do that. I'm having a senior moment. When we started getting people sending us comments, that was your best show you've ever done, and we'd just gotten through discussing, man, we really feel bad about this show. We hardly talked about gold making at all. And then people are telling us it was the greatest show. And it's like, we didn't even give you much content and we're feeling really bad. Yeah, but you guys acted like a bunch of funny idiots and it was fun to watch. And it was like, watching monkeys at the zoo and thumbs up, So, yeah.
Again, we've probably taken that as far as we possibly can.
We'll continue to mine this mine until it caves in and crushes
There's always a new level.
Yes, we're going to keep doing this until there's a cave-in. That's correct. But anyways, until the next time you guys stream, Mac, where can people find you?
Well, if you need to get a hold of us, you can still get a hold of me at Mac Goblin Goldcast gmail.com. We talked about this before the podcast. My old computer crashed on me. It's sitting back on the site. I do not have access to our Goblin Goldcast email from that one. So you can get a hold of me on Gmail, matt@goblingoldcast@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of us on Twitch, Dex and Mac.
All right, and Dex, how about you?
Well, again, just like him, Twitch, Dex and Mac, and for me, Dex at Goblin Goldcast. I should still be able to get that. Nobody's sent me anything that I can repeat in a while. But
it's a lot like our emails. It's good.
Yeah. It's like, should we read the emails? Let's read them live. We got to change our rating. Well.
Yeah. This is your mother. I saw that.
But yeah, right now mostly it's the Twitch stream that we're just getting figured out because neither one of us had any clue about how to run Twitch, and it really shows. Initially, people are like, you realize that there's like a little thing that you can push over here that changes. No, we don't know. So we're figuring it out, and I figure in another 6-7 months we'll have the basics down.
All right, sounds good. John, how about you? Where can people find you?
Hey, if you want to hear more from me, the best place to do it is to just go ahead and follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger. I will let you know where I'm going to be, what I'm doing, how many pairs of pants I have lost at any given moment, all the important stuff. But the best place to hear me on shows is right here on Azeroth Roundtable, or if you want to hear me talking about Heroes of the Storm, you can check out Core, which is a part of the Frog Pants Network. You can find out more information about that at heroesforyou.com. Or if you are the kind of person who says, John, I'm into D&D adventures, why I say...
I'm the D&D adventures.
That great, Ben. I've got a thing for you that you've been on, so you know about it, but I'll tell you because that's the bit. There Will Be Dungeons at therewillbedungeons.com is a show that myself, Bo, Scott from the Core podcast, we've joined up with Kyle and Kristen, and we started playing D&D, and it is a good time, and I cannot wait for tomorrow. I can't really say why, because it turns out people go through these things at their own time, and I shouldn't give spoilers out, but I can't wait for tomorrow.
Me too.
It's been the longest week of my life. So therewillbedungeons.com if you want to check that out. That's where you can find me. Ben.
Yes, John.
Host Ben.
Yes.
Ben. Where can people find you? I don't know why that started like a poetry jam poem, but...
Thank you for not calling me Gentle Ben.
Gentle Ben. Host Ben. Ben who does the show.
Now I just want to watch So I Married an Axe Murderer. Anyways, if you're looking for me, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Ben the Mage. I do a show with Eludra called Battle Pets, where we talk about battle pets in the World of Warcraft. You know, those things that John likes to sell off.
Battle Pets.
Yeah. This show, though, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. If you have any questions, comments, want to, tell us cool stories that happened to you or whatever, go ahead and send those emails to AzerothRoundtable@gmail.com, which we do have 2 that I plan on responding to very soon, but I've been busy, so sorry. Anyways, the show itself, you can always find old episodes as well as this one on AzerothRoundtable.com, on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and other podcasty places. And of course, that's it. Except for a thing John does.
Oh, hi everybody. We're back.
John,
we're back to end the show. This is how we end it. This is how we end it. We talk about Patreon. Patreon.com/AzerothRT. If you're sitting there going, geez, they talked about Everquest a lot. Well, your hard money made that happen. I don't know why your money's hard, but it is. Presumably you paid in quarters. So
they just wet the bills and froze it.
Yeah. We thank you for it. What are we talking about? Patreon. How this is done. Patreon.com/AzerothRT. You make this professionalism possible. A big, extra big, I said big twice, thank you to our Murloc Club, Frasley S., Kryn, Haster, Mimi H., Aaron, and Simon. Thank you so much for being a part of the Murloc Club. There's a Murloc for you. Because we like you. And, we like all our patrons too. So thank you to everybody who has supported us and continues to support us. You're all fantastic. If you want to join them, patreon.com/AzerothRT. It paid for that wonderful ad.
The improv thing. I wouldn't exactly call it an ad, but that's cool.
I mean, it was an advertisement for our show in Patreon.
Okay, good point.
I don't know what your definition of advertising is, but...
something a little more professional.
You know what? Professional isn't always good.
That's true. Anyways, Dex, Mac, thanks again for joining us. John, it's a pleasure talking to you every week. Chat room, you guys were great. And with that, everybody, till next time, be good to each other.
Take care.
Have fun.
Catchphrase. I didn't know what to say. Everybody was saying something. I panicked.
Well, that's one way to do it.
I thought that was like our podcast where I would say something. It's like, no, I'm going to insert something else later in that spot. It's a placeholder.
I have done that a couple times. Like when we've been super spoilery, I'll just, be like, okay, come back in, and then leave a space, and then go back and edit like, 4 minutes and 27 seconds.
Right. Or it's like, Dirk, can you say this line for no particular reason? It won't make sense, but it will later. After I edit later, it'll make a lot of sense.
Are we doing the 5th edition D&D, or are we doing
5th edition?
5th edition, that's the newest one. Yeah, I remember the old boxed, the original one with the 3 little books, 70s rules.
Oh yeah, the old red box, the AD&D.
Oh no, mine were the little gray book or little yellow books. I'm thinking 1979.
Ooh.
My 10-year-old played D&D for the first time a couple of weeks ago. He was at my parents' house, and my oldest son, who's 33, came out to visit. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to teach him D&D."
Nice.
My other kids, he brings it, and my 10-year-old wasn't all that impressed. And he told me later that it sounded like a cool concept, but they should make it into a video game instead. He didn't know why I laughed after that. He had no idea.
Well, a single game playing is essentially D&D.
So,
That would be a $1 million idea a long time ago.
but my kids have asked me things like, why do they say dial the phone and roll up the window in the car? What are you rolling up in a window? You're pushing a button. You're pushing buttons on the phone. What does dial the phone mean? I Googled it for them, and I showed them pictures of old phones and old door handles on a car. And that same 10-year-old said, why didn't they just start with buttons?
I mean,
it's
a fair
point. I don't have automatic windows.
I know you totally don't.
See, I stuck my foot in my mouth again. First I say 5,000 gold is nothing, and I get in trouble for that one. Then
No, funny story though. So our niece came to visit and everything, and we're driving to a destination, and she's like, wait, you have cranks? How come your car is so old? I'm like, it's not that old. It's a 2009.
Ben, your car has roll-up windows. You have to manually unlock the door for people, and I get electrocuted every time I get out of it.
Well, that's because you just don't know how to get out of it correctly. You don't get away.
Wait a minute, it's got roll-up windows, and it's a 2009?
Yeah.
They were doing that still in 2009? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can still get manual anything that you want.
I mean, a Yugo, but I mean, besides a Yugo, it's just...
Look, I love my Jeep, okay?
You can always say, well, it's retro.
Yeah.
Retro chic, yeah.
You could put a retro sign underneath where it says Jeep. It would work.
I mean, I do have a turntable in the back to play my records while I'm driving.
There you go. Just don't hit any potholes and you're set. Man.
Exactly.
8-track player.
8-track player. Yeah. Best thing about 8-tracks is when they had a long song and they had to split it in half between two tracks. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
And you get to that part in the song and you're singing along in the car, and all of a sudden, you're going. The song continues. Oh man. Story.
Ben, does your Jeep have a CD player?
Yes, it does. But I always just use the aux output or input and use my iPod.
I don't get how your vehicle has roll-up windows, no electronic locks, and has an aux output.
Honestly, I'm glad, because I have seen way too many cars where the windows just stop working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. I can roll it. It's not a big deal.
That happens in Alaska.
That's a cool thing to tell yourself, Ben.
Or if you get the right year vehicle, they fall off the track and you just hear this crash.
Mm-hmm.
In the wintertime up here, it's whether you have roll up or you have the electric. You pull up to the drive-through in the middle of the winter, and it's like, oh, crap! Now I got to open the door.
Yeah.
And opening the door in Alaska in the wintertime is a commitment. Make no mistake.
I mean, I will give your car this. So I think I've told Ben this story, but I will share it again. There was a time where I was driving home from work, and it was a nice day, and I had the windows all rolled down, and I was feeling very good about life. And I looked out the right-hand side of the window, and I just saw a cloud of some kind coming towards the car. And I hit the power windows and watched them slowly begin rolling up, thinking, oh, please roll up faster, faster, please make it in time, as a swarm of bees descended over my car. It made it just in time, but that would have been probably a good moment for roll-up windows. Although, also argument could be made that would have been very hard to do on the passenger side if I was in the car by myself.
Well,
Yeah.
I normally don't roll down the passenger window.
Then you haven't lived.
What if the person you want to shoot is on the right side of the car?
Yeah, what do you do then?
I mean, what do you do then? I mean,
It's a good way to have to need another window, let me tell you that.
You live in California. I thought that was restricted down there.
I'm sorry. No, you cut somebody off. See, that's the thing. In California, we don't believe in the death penalty unless you cut somebody off on the freeway, and then you're not even doing time. Okay. You can legally do anything you want if somebody cuts you off, and if they flip you off afterwards, oh man, you can take it next level.
Dex's idea of fun is let's put this guy from Alaska in a rental car and drive to BlizzCon from San Francisco. That'll be fun. Here, get behind the wheel, Derek. Thanks.
Yeah, him on Interstate 5 was a very interesting thing. He wasn't aware cars could go that fast.
I do have a CD.
Right over an icy patch.
Oh man,
doesn't happen here.
Yeah. I do have a CDL, so I drive a Kenworth at work.
Are people honking at me because I'm going 80? Yeah, but for the opposite reason that you're thinking right now.
I will share this. Alessander says, please include the post show, will you? I love these guys and miss them. She misses you.
We appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. We're still not coming back, though.
Oh.
No, just kidding.
He just got burned out doing. He is such a perfectionist that I know he would be sitting there agonizing in his office while he's editing these little files, because we both record separately, and then he would match them up. And
I was the guy that would remove little moments of silences that were like half a second that I felt was too long on the side. That's how bad it got. I know I have a problem. Then I went and washed my hands 17 times in a row. It was that kind of thing. Made sure all the handles were off of the stove burners. Check the deadbolt 16 times.
On, off. It's actually off. Next one. On, off.
And then went right back and added that silence back in because I was sure I made a mistake.
Lengthening silence, you definitely have a problem.
Yeah. It's like,
well, I mean, look, I think we all had that moment when we were getting started in podcasting where we thought, okay, it has to be go, nonstop. And you would try to cut back on silences and things like that. And then all of a sudden you'd say, but there is such a thing as comic timing. Okay, let's put them all back in the thing. We gotta have all the silences in there.
Well, I added silences too. I didn't just cut it. It was both, and also we would get to it because we weren't recording live. We would get to a point to where inevitably we would mess up, and by we I mean Mac, and I'd have to go back and I'd say, okay, now take that whole part over again. And then it would be like, I'm going to say this again like I'm saying it for the first time. And then I'd have to cut and make it sound.
And the other thing that he did is we have this podcast that was non-explicit. And so I would use I didn't curse during the show. And so we were talking about that episode of BlizzCon with the kid next to me with his iPod. You just starts blasting this thing out.
During the Q&A, and he's blasting it.
During the Q&A. And I was like, shut up. I said, I don't know, but I said, do you mind turning that off? I'm trying to hear this. Anyways, so in the podcast, we're recording it, and I said, if you're at the Q&A at BlizzCon, shut the bleep up. So when he edited it, He actually put a bleep in there so it
I took
sounded.
it as an editorial instruction.
Oh, wait. You're saying he bleeped the bleep?
He bleeped the bleep.
He said the word bleep. Shut the bleep
bleep
up.
I said,
and where he said bleep, I put a bleep in there. And there's no video, so you can't see that his mouth is making a B instead of an F. And so, yeah, put it in there. And then all these people, it's like, oh, I can't believe, Mac was cursing on the show. The bleeps are usually from Dex, it's like, because the bleeps for me were real. But, we don't have that problem with Twitch.
My fun thing is that if I do bleep out John, and occasionally myself, I leave just enough in there so that they know what was actually said without actually having it. Yeah.
Except for on his, because it wouldn't have worked because he didn't really say it. But yeah.
Yeah, kind of like when they did the song "Closer" by 9 Inch Nails on the radio.
Yeah, I would always leave the beginning of the F sound and the end of the K sound so there was no doubt. But I'd clip everything in between.
Yep.
A fun thing that I do, because I think bleeping is sometimes funnier than actually cursing. I just, not all the time, but sometimes it is. And so occasionally I would record things where I would know that I was going to bleep things. And I do the same thing Ben does. I try to leave a little bit of the beginning, the end, or both, so people kind of pretty much know what you said. But I thought it would be funnier if I never actually swore. So I would go through, and if I knew I was going to bleep it, I would not actually swear through the entire thing, but I would bleep it to sound as if I had.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always regretted that on the podcast I didn't choose to, on one episode, just have a long stream of bleeps when Mac was talking, and then at the end of it have me say, dude, she was 5 minutes late with dinner. What the hell? Just...
Editors, they got all the power.
Oh, I pointed that out to him many times. And he would complain about it, and I would say things like, so what you're saying is you would like to take over the editing and do the same thing to me. Okay, this show can go on another 5 years. We're good. It's like...
I offered to take over the editing when things kind of went off the rails, but
yeah,
I think that Dex reaches that burnout with the game every once in a while. I mean, about a year and a half usually, and then he has to take a break from something. And
honestly, the biggest problem was I was spending 10 times more time editing the podcast, not recording the podcast, not writing show notes. I know what show notes, but not doing that, but editing the podcast like 10 times the amount of time that I was actually spending in game. And it was, to me, that imbalance did not make sense. It's like I should not be spending more time editing the show than actually playing the game that the show is about. That didn't compute for me. So something had to give.
Where the Twitch is working pretty good for us. So
yeah, it is, and we're going to do a variety of games on there. And like I said, we'll definitely do some classic server stuff and all that. For sure, that'll be interesting. I have a feeling it's going to be because I do not go back as far as vanilla. I started mid Burning Crusade.
Yeah, I was about the same.
Yeah, so I didn't have that very beginning. I did have, hunters using arrows and having to refill, and I did do the having to feed your pet and all of that because that was still going on at that time. But some of the stuff I'm sure I never experienced.
Sony finally ticked me off, and I left Everquest never to come back, and then I came back, and then
they don't even run it anymore. They don't even own the property.
Yeah, now it's Daybreak Games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I didn't even
Which is an unfortunate name because the first time they made a mistake in the game, Daybreak Games became They Break Games.
Yeah.
And so in the forums, it was they would spell it DEY, Daybreak
Games.
Daybreak Games, And
there's a little troll voice in there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was very unfortunate. And then they had a who was it? They had an expansion, and it was I'm trying to think the abbreviation.
I remember when they brought out Shadows of Luceland, and everyone was saying it was SOL.
Yeah, Shadows of Luceland was SOL, which was very unfortunate. The expansion that they brought out that they were going to raise the level cap to 70 and then kind of forgot to do it. So it was still 65 and you were trying to take on level 70 content that was just wiping the floor with you, was Gates of Discord. God. It's like they're doing this on purpose. And the oh no, I was actually about to mention I was gonna make fun of Star Trek actually when they came out with the what is it what's the one that's on their pay service, the new series.
Oh, Discovery. Discovery, the CBS one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Star Trek
Discovery. Yeah.
STD.
Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, STD.
Yeah.
People were saying that this is a vile, all that, and then they were reminded that no, in the past that's not how they've done the abbreviations. That like next Star Trek Next Generation was. Oh, maybe they do it that way? STN?
Yeah, SNG. Yeah.
No, they just called it TNG.
TNG, generation. Right. Yeah, TNG, yeah. They did point out that what was funny was people actually going in defense and saying, no, people connected with the show saying, oh, no, that wouldn't be the abbreviation, And I think it was a little embarrassing for them because they made every mistake possible.
It'd just be called D.
Yeah.
Give them the D.
Hey, you guys
I just call it the Star Trek show that is the only Star Trek show that I haven't seen. That's how I remember what it is.
This is also true.
Yeah.
Chat room, we are going to call it a night there as we are fast approaching doing hour 2 of our show.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But
I don't have Twitch running. I thought we were already out.
We got to cut them off. We can only give them so much.
I thought it was just us on Skype. I didn't even realize.
No, we're still streaming. So,
so pretend you didn't hear any of the stuff that was said.
None of that was for you.
Yeah.
So you remember nothing.
When Dex and I were worried about we used to be worried we weren't going to have enough show notes to do a 45-minute show. And we found that we can talk about nothing for hours.
Shows are longer without show notes.
It's very possible.
The quality
but
goes up tremendous. Maybe not.
You were all fantastic. We all love you. Those of you who hung out, those of you who have left early.
Especially you in the middle up front.
You're okay, but you're not our favorite. You didn't stay. So
I just stayed. You're our favorite.
Have a good night, everybody. Have a good weekend. Get in there and make it a weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good night.